what is your analysis of predictions of Bitcoin price before and after this 2024 Bitcoin halving, given the different macroeconomic circumstances compared to previous halvings? So this kind of is a great question because it ties into what we discussed earlier, the hardness, the scarcity. There's a couple of things that would be different this time around. One is the halving. Obviously, the impact of the halving gets less and less over time, but also the scarcity of Bitcoin goes up. And at the same time, the adoption of the Bitcoin network goes up. That is the wild card. What that will all mean, we're not sure. But again, getting back to our layer out model, these are my pre-halving targets per the layer out model. The high end of the range would be about 38,900, so call it 39,000. Mid-range about 36K, and the low end about 31,000. That's where I believe somewhere in that range we'll head up, probably in the mid 36K range. And the reason for that is this is exactly where the early January support was at 36K. So it's no coincidence it's there. But again, most important, and this next chart is probably the most important chart you need to look at, okay, to give you a true picture of where you are, not from a chart, but from a halving perspective. And this is an amazing piece of work from the Rational Root. And dear Rational Root, sorry I messed up your graphic. I added some things to make it clear to the viewers of exactly where we are. So first of all, on the bottom right corner, I added tops in a green box. This is when Bitcoin hits an all-time high and when that happens in relation to the halving cycles. Okay, number one. So that's typically, if you imagine a clock, that'll be at 4:30 in the afternoon. Remember, the halvings are at 12 noon at the very top, and at 7:30 in the evening is the bottoms. All the bottoms hit at 7:30 p.m. And that's also correlated to the halving cycle. The question is, where are we now? Well, I added a little green triangle saying you are here. We are past, with the exception of the very first cycle, where the bottom is. But if you start from the very beginning out, we are most probably way, way, way beyond the bottom. So the bottom has been in for quite some time, if history repeats. But the beauty of this is, you know, the spiral. The more we get closer to the halving, the more price goes up. After the halving, the price goes up and accelerates till 4:30. Remember those numbers, 4:30 p.m. That's when the all-time highs typically hit. And 7:30 p.m., that's when the bottoms typically hit. So turning this into a clock, so you'll all remember. And we'll track this, of course, carefully as we go on. So hope that helps. So it'll be interesting when we come back to these. If this is right, 36K is where my money is at for Bitcoin, April 2024. And the internet doesn't lie. So we'll come back, and I won't forget to bring this up again. Who knows? Maybe it's 25K in April 2024. Could be 50K. We don't know. But going by the adoption and looking at some of the on-chain data, this time could be very interesting.